Hey, corporate working moms, it's Anita here, and I'm going to start a new experiment today. I'm going to document 90 days and just journal my process that I go through in being able to build a profitable consulting business. So I'm going to call it the messy middle. Because don't we know as women sometimes, like we have a vision of what we want to do and we have a goal that we want to reach, and the process in between, like that's what we're going to focus on, the messy middle. So on this podcast and in this experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about things like what happens when your mindset is kind of wacky, what happens when you fall off track, what happens when you succeed, how do you celebrate, and how do we celebrate women as others in the corporate space that are building consulting businesses, where do we go to find community to celebrate with others. We're going to talk about just in the messy middle, what is it like for me, like how do I homeschool my kids and run a business and help manage and support my household. What do I do on those days when I feel really down? What do I do on those days when I have I'm going after something and it's not working out? And so that's just a couple of things that we're going to talk about in this podcast called The Messy Middle. And it's really like one mom's journey of being able to build a profitable business. So we know that in business, a lot of times, like, this is what I want to be able to capture. Number one, like your mindset is about 80 to 90% of your success, and the tactics, the practical and the tactical, I like to call it, that's around 10 to 20%. And those numbers will vary based on, what guru you follow, but they're pretty accurate. It's a good ballpark. But so the steps of building a business, like we'll go through those. And specifically a profitable business, because otherwise we're not building like unprofitable business or hobby businesses. The other thing that I want to talk about is like, what am I passionate about? How do I want to help people? How can I show up and serve every day when I don't have my makeup done or my hair done? And that's really what I want to capture in this messy middle mom's journey to be able to build that profitable business. And so what I also want to do is be able to help you and know that there are others of us that are out there that are walking through this process. We've been in the corporate space and we have these specialized skills and we're really experts, but we want to be able to do something different with that. We want to be able to reimagine what our life looks like. We want to be able to have freedom in the process as we build. Like, I want to be able to do what I'm doing now, and that's time to read scripture in the morning and get my mindset organized and focus on what God's showing me to do in my life and in my business. And then I want to be able to have time to go for a long walk and kind of contemplate these things. And then I want to be able to get clarity on that and walk forward in the things. And so that's where this idea has been birthed out of, this messy middle, is being able to just really chronicle and document the journey that I'm on, and hope to be able to encourage other women as you go through this process. So each day I'm going to go live and record kind of that journey and what it looks like. I'll give you my backstory. I'll give you what I'm passionate about. I'll talk about who I'm here to help and what I'm called to do. I'll talk about the practical and the tactical of how I do it. I'll encourage you along the way. One of the big things that you can do right now, there'll always be like a call to action so that you can have a takeaway, that you can actually do something different. Because don't you know, like, we don't want to stay in the messy middle. I've noticed in my life, in those seasons where I felt stuck or I felt overwhelmed, it's because I got, maybe I didn't have the vision and I felt stuck because I didn't have the vision. Or maybe I thought I understood what to do, but I was having a hard time implementing. And so what we don't want to do is get stuck in the just taking in more information and then not implementing. Like we know from our corporate experience, like without implementation, we just have ideas and dreams, and that's not who we are as women who really like to be able to show up and win and have success in our lives in lots of these different areas. We're going to talk about things like, how do I have just really like the really real, like what are my feelings on a day-to-day basis, and how am I navigating that, and how do I have a joyful, intimate, fun, loving marriage in the midst of all this stuff that I have going on, and how do I intentionally raise my kids, and how do I show up as a believer every day, and getting this vision that God's given me and being able to walk that out and go through the process of implementing that. And instead of being like, well, I'm just waiting on the Lord, like I did a podcast episode on that. And instead of like saying, well, I've got this vision and I'm just waiting on the Lord for him to work everything out for me. No. Like, how do I actually walk out that? So you're going to see the highs and the lows. You're going to see the in the messy middle. You're going to see the successes and the failures. But no, ladies, just for each and every one of you today, I know there's somebody out there. I just want to speak to you directly. There's something in your life where you feel like that something has happened and you feel like a failure. And I just want you to know today that the failure is just really an event. It's not who you are. It's not who God's said that you are. It doesn't, those circumstances might be really hard and they might be really, really gnarly. And I'm so sorry for that. But I just want you to know that whatever those circumstances are, you're already an overcomer. You're a warrior. You have a community of like-minded women, really even right here. Maybe this is your community. You're finding it right here, right now, today. And you want to join a community of women who want to be able to walk through the messy middle, but also be able to be an overcomer on the other side. So don't we know as women, as believers, as executive, as those of us that have been in the corporate space, like I came from the tech industry, and that's a battle all on its own for so many different reasons. We'll kind of break some of those things down. But in that, don't we want to know, like we want to know as women that we have a community of other ladies who have walked through these same kinds of things or similar things, right? You're never going to find somebody who's walked through the exact same things in life, but they've been able to overcome. They've been able to encourage and be encouraged. And so that's the kind of community that I am building right now. And so if that's something that you're interested in, just the simple step for today is just follow this channel, just subscribe. And as I walk through this journey of going through the messy middle, again, coming from vision and walking towards a goal and walking towards purpose and just chronicling what that looks like, I hope to encourage, I hope to be able to have others join in the process. So just the takeaway for today is to subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, go ahead and share it with your friends as well. If there's something I can do for you, go ahead and comment down below. I'd love to be able to see how I can better serve you as I go through this process of just documenting my journey that I'm on, to be able to be intentional in my marriage, be intentional in my raising my children, be intentional in being able to grow a profitable business. So I'm praying for each and every one of you. Just want to encourage you to join. You can subscribe to the channel, just start there. I also have communities that you can join along the way if that suits you, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So have a good day, ladies. I want you to be encouraged as I go through this process of documenting that there's someone else out there like you who's walking through the process of the messy middle of life. And I'm here to encourage you and pray for you and just root you on all the way as I document my own journey. So have a great day.